Hello again, Knights fans, and welcome inside Stratus Arena. I'm Ty Mead here with head coach Greg Herenda for our weekly check-in with the FDU men's basketball program. Coach, another successful weekend for your team. You took 2 games. You beat St. Francis University in overtime here on Thursday night, and then a nail-biter against LIU that you won on Saturday. 88-85, Darian Anderson, big shots in both. But before we get to the specifics of those 2 games, you finished the month of January with a 7-3 record in the month and a 7-3 record in NEC play. Best month for the program in about a decade. What do you see out of your team so far?
I like it. I like winning. The team likes winning, and we're playing good basketball. And even prior to that, we had Rutgers on the ropes. That was our last loss. We just didn't shoot the ball. I think we were abysmal from 3 points. So we're shooting the ball well. We're getting good shots, but we're guarding. But most of all, we're coming up with big plays by a number of different players. And Darian Anderson this week, really won us 2 games and put us on his back. But there was a lot of help. Darnell Edge stepped up when Steph went down. Ghassan Nemi was electric in Brooklyn. So we just have a lot of a lot of good players that are not afraid, and we practice that way. And now we're playing that way, but we still have 8 really difficult games, 3 at home, 5 on the road. That's how the schedule works. But I love my team on the road. We've said that numbers of times on our show, Tom, and our game travels and our team travels, and we got to play 5 tough road games and 3 tough home games.
Now you mentioned Edge and Nemi. Both were huge in the second half of the respective games.
Right.
Are we at the point in the year where you're starting to look around and say, hey, freshmen, you're not freshmen anymore?
It's funny you say that, because I told them that right after Christmas. I said the freshman year is over. You guys are players. And I really meant that. And, Ghassan had a year of prep school at St. Benedict's, but Darnell did not. Darnell just turned 18 a few days. But you have an age on your birth certificate, and then you have that basketball age. And some guys that are 30 years old in the NBA still don't know how to play. And some guys that are 18 and playing college basketball have a knack for it. So Ghassan and Darnell, but, Deron Curry did a great job coming in at LIU and getting 2 assists and making a layup. Mike Schroback, his dad is Mark, made a huge 3 in the first half, played good minutes. So we're getting contributions from a lot of people. And I just thank my team today. Because we had a really difficult year last year, and we've just, persevered, and we've gone from really the bottom of the bottom to now we have a share of the top. And it doesn't mean anything now on February 2nd or 3rd, but to us it means a lot that we have a little bit of respect, we have our heads held high, and we're playing good basketball when it counts.
Now, Coach, obviously you've improved in the conference. You're leading the league in some statistical categories. You're also seeing your numbers kind of climb into the top 25 nationally, particularly with steals, turnover margin, and things like that.
Yep.
What does that mean to your program when you start to get that national respect?
You become relevant, and I tell our team all the time, a dear friend of mine, Darren Savino, who's the assistant at Cincinnati, came and observed our practice, and he's like, gee, you guys offensively are really good. And the kids hear that, and it just kind of reaffirms what we do. Sometimes in life you do things and you think no one notices, but when Darian Anderson's 35th in steals and we're 13th in turnover margin or turnovers forced, and we get some national recognition, and I've texted back with Jay Wright and people that notice what we're doing and where we've come from. It's very rewarding. So today I thank my team, but we have still a long way to go, but we're on the right track.
All right, looking ahead, big game on Thursday night. We're going to Wagner. They're tied for first with us, as well as Mount St. Mary's.
Right.
What do you expect out of the Seahawks?
Tough. I recruited Bashir Mason. I brought him down on a visit to East Carolina when I was an associate head coach down there, and he was a basketball player, a high school player. So I know how tough Bashir was as a player and how tough he is as a coach. I think the better players will be on the bench, to be honest with you. Dwayne Lee, Winston Smith, they got Mike Babel, Marquise Webb. They've got a lot of good players on the bench, and it's 2 programs I think that kind of mirror each other, but are opposite as well. I think even just talking to Bashir a little bit, we joked on the road the other day, if we can combine our teams, one is so good defensively and we're pretty good offensively, it'd be a really good team. But I think it's going to be a fun game because it's good defense against good offense, and I think we're playing better defense, and they're playing better offense. So consequently, we're both 7-3. We've never beaten since I've been here Wagner. We've had tough losses against them, so hopefully we're due. But I think it's just good for these young kids to play meaningful games, and this is a very meaningful game. But each and every one of the 18 is meaningful.
Now, you mentioned the schedule a little bit. The way the conference schedule broke down, a number of games during winter break here. The students were finally back for the Thursday night game, and what'd you see out of them?
They were tremendous, especially our student athletes. I think there's the one thing about Fairleigh Dickinson that I found out is the student athletes really, really kind of play off of one another. So our men's baseball team, our soccer team, all the teams, I don't want to mention them, but they all we pull from one another. We go to their games, they come to our games, and there are a lot of commuters on this campus, but there are also a good deal of students, and there's faculty, and our alums have just been there through thick and thin. So every game when it's over, I got to hug and Joel and just talk to a lot of people that just really bleed burgundy and blue, and it's fun to see. And when you're winning, everybody's a little bit more happy. But there's a lot of pride here, and our players are feeling it. And I think our last 3 games, the Robert Morris is a TV game, and then I think Sacred Heart, and then Wagner. This gym should really jump.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for joining us, and good luck this weekend at Wagner on Thursday, and at St. Francis Brooklyn on Saturday. Both games can be seen live on necfrontrow.com.